So my life was changing in the most gargantuan way, but not because of 50 Shades. When people don't understand why you want to play golf, like, what other sport do you get this sort of environment? The first comments I saw were like, he looks really fat, he's aging badly, and why is he even there? Beautiful. Jesus, that's beautiful. But you know, I lost my mum when I was 16, so that was a catastrophic event in my life that takes happiness away, obviously, in a monumental way. Despite how great home life is and how good my career's going, I am much happier if I'm playing good golf. You're only as happy as your last good golf shot.
Your last shot.
In a way.
Yeah. Well, there's the ferry setting off.
Oh, looks like it's going the wrong direction.
Whoops.
Is that going to do a big turn?
Is it doing a
U-turn? I love how on cue this guy just started playing like the fiddle. It's unbelievable, isn't it? By himself. Brilliant. Welcome to
It's absolutely
Mull.
incredible. Like I say, last night we were up in this pub and there was just this beautiful live band playing.
So cool.
They were so good.
Yeah.
I was actually brought a tear to my eye. I was like, this is just so beautiful. And the sun sets behind Iona here.
Okay.
How many golfers do you reckon are on the island?
Is there an active membership? Like, can you be a member of Iona Golf Club?
It's free.
It's free?
Yeah.
It's free?
It's free.
It's always nice, isn't it?
My kind of club.
That is nice. How many? 7.
Close, 10.
I was joking with 7. Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine how well they know each other.
I know, how cool is that though? Like just 10 friends that go out.
That's nice.
They all volunteer and keep the course like, you know, in shape, but mainly the greenkeepers are the sheep. They keep the grass down and it's on the back side of the island. So the island is 3 miles wide and 1.5 miles deep.
Wow.
And there are 170 residents of the island of Iona.
Jesus, wow.
Actually, I think there's something that you cannot find anywhere else in the world on the island of Iona. I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it, and maybe you can help me do that today. I'm so intrigued to see what your experience is.
Yeah.
This is Iona.
This is so pretty. Jesus.
So gorgeous,
That's
isn't it?
gorgeous, yeah. Really is. Really is.
No, honestly, you want to see the views and all that.
Okay. I'll at least get the door for you. Like.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, this is brilliant, yeah. Cheers, Finley. Thanks, man. What was that? This is epic. Wow. It's so mad. Literally just land fields. So cool.
Wow. What do you think's been your breakthrough moment in your career where you went from just kind of regular Jamie Dornan to Jamie Dornan the superstar?
Sort of uncomfortable if you say Jamie Dornan the superstar.
Sorry.
That doesn't sound right.
Movie star?
I don't know. Like, I've done all right. The fall changed my life. I've said that lots of times. It just did. It totally, overnight, changed my my working life. And I had another career before. I was a model before that, and I did extremely well out of it. And I didn't love the process, but I loved the journey of it. So, you know, in many regards, I felt like I'd been a very successful person in my 20s. Then in my late 20s, when everything kicked off with the fall and what's come after it, it was all down to that one job, and people taking a risk to cast me in that, which I probably on paper wasn't who they should have or would have cast. So yeah, it was almost as simple as that, and it was overnight, and it was satisfying because it was something that was really well conceived and well executed and well received.
It was phenomenal. It was so good. Jamie, what's your handicap?
9.
9? God, you're a good golfer.
It's not good.
9? That's very impressive. And how much do you love golf?
You know, what's that stat that men think about sex every 5 minutes or whatever? That you can apply that to me with golf, I think. That it might even be more frequent than that. I just love it. I love the constant challenge of it and the pursuit of trying to get it right. I think it's a really good thing to have in your life, in the background, always trying to get better at this thing that feels impossible.
Yeah.
And I just love it for the times where you do hit a good shot and that feeling, and those days where you do feel like you can play golf.
Yeah.
I'm a tinkerer. I tinker too much, I think.
Right.
I'm a bit
You
like
and Adam
always
Scott.
trying to, me and Adam and Padre character, tinkering too much.
Now, this is a golf course. Basically, everything you see that's green is the course.
Got you.
And Finley, who very kindly gave me some advice about where we're actually going out here this morning, taught me about this opening hole. So basically, the crest of this hill, just behind that is the hidden green. So when I hit my driver, I had like a 9-iron in.
Okay.
So you're just trying to hit something straight down the middle here. And as you can see, it's buttercup season.
It is
so
pretty.
If you lose your ball in the fairway, you get a free drop.
I love it.
So.
And do you get extra points for hitting these cyclists?
Definitely.
Okay, do you want to get us going?
No, I think you should lead the way.
Right.
Show us how it's done. See if those calf muscles have got some function.
Jesus. I know, honestly. I was like, should I wear shorts? Because these become a talking point wherever I go, sadly.
Let's see how much power is really in the tank.
Yeah. Well, it all comes from your legs, they say, don't they?
That's what they say. Strike.
A wee bit leaky, it's all right.
Do you know what? That is actually a good angle from a little bit down the right half. It's perfect.
Yeah, okay.
Beauty. All right. Thanks again for coming, Jamie.
Oh, I'm
this
delighted.
Is a treat.
Oh, that is money.
That's the line.
That's sublime. Yeah, lovely shot.
The cool thing about this channel and this series that we have is that it's about golf, of course, and it's wonderful that we get to use golf as an icebreaker, to spend time with wonderful people like yourself that, yes, we've met before, and it's so cool that golf does that and brings cool people together, but we don't know each other that well.
Yeah.
But I feel like often in golf, it allows for broader conversations and to get to know people on like a deeper level and to understand how your life has panned out to be the way it is, because you are just such a normal, like you're so grounded and down to earth from Hollywood, you know, Belfast, and you've had an amazing amount of success. And I guess for our viewers and for selfishly me, I'm the one that gets to chat to you. It's interesting to hear a little bit about that journey and how your life's panned out in the way it is, and it's inspiring for people that are coming along next, and also people that are living their own lives out there.
Yeah.
I suppose what I wonder is like how you are. Like, are you happy?
Yeah, I would say actually at the moment I'm the happiest I've ever been, to be honest with you.
Awesome.
I feel great about my family, which is the most important thing to me. We're so lucky there. Like I married an incredible woman and we've got 3 beautiful, healthy girls. That's a great launching off point of happiness. You know, that is just like me sort of settled because of that. And I love that like stability that I have in my life, and I'm really thankful for it, that I, for whatever reason, made the right moves to find myself in this position, you know, with family wise. And then on the flip side of that, career wise, I'm as happy as I've ever been. I'm getting to do really cool work and, you know, work with great people, really big, impressive companies and streamers and studios, and, you know, with people that I like and I respect, and have a choice and a bit of a say over how and when and why I do that. And that's a real luxury, and I don't take it for granted. Like, I'm really acutely aware that that's a great situation. So and so it kind of leads to happiness. I also think like I'm so grateful where I'm from. Like, it's a big part of me, and I really care about that part of the world, and being from Belfast, and, you know, I think it's been really beneficial to me to be from that place and to be from Northern Ireland and have an environment where ego isn't allowed. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, big egos. There's everyone from dentists to estate agents have big egos from Belfast, but it's not received well. People don't like it, and we're a real culture in all of Ireland of really putting each other down in a fun way and in a grounding way, and I think it's super important. And you know, I'm out here and I've had 3 of my best mates with me the last couple of days, and you know, all we do is slag each other off, but it's all from love. And I've had the same group of friends since I was a kid, and I can't even tell you, I think that is a total necessity for keeping your head when some of the stuff you're exposed to in the sort of line of work I'm in and where I've got with it. To have those people around me that have known me from day one, essentially, a lot of them, that's vital, really vital. I've got great mates from being in this industry, true like friends for life that I love, but it's just really good for me to have people around me who don't care about any of that.
How much do you think that sort of self-deprecating nature and like no room for ego that exists within Irish culture comes from, I guess, as there's been struggles you know, internally and culturally, and I guess that puts things into perspective, really. How relevant do you feel that is to your life and to the culture broadly? I
think we're all a product of our history, came before us, and the environment we grew up in, and you know, particularly in the north, based on you know what everyone's been through. There is a way of using humour to help people through traumatic circumstances. That is the crack at home. Like people are so quick with humour, particularly in the north, because we've used it as a sort of coping mechanism to try to deal with the sort of difficulties and bleakness of what was going on around for 30 years. And longer than that if you factor in other aspects of what led us to that point anyway. So it's you know, there's not many people from where I'm from who aren't funny. I really believe that. I think like
and you are really funny. Like
well, I don't know if I'm funny, but like I don't even mean that. But like you know.
No, but I mean more broadly, just Irish, Northern Irish. You know, you are genuinely really funny people. Yeah,
well, I think we are, and I think we've got a good attitude to humour, and maybe are sometimes too quick with it in certain scenarios, and we've all been caught out sometimes, particularly around Americans. Sometimes you'll say something and they're like, oh, what? You can't say that. And you're like, well, Jesus, never come to Ireland, because like everyone will say something like that, you know, in those moments. So yeah, I do, and I do think there's a built-in resilience to you if you come from where I come from, based on what people have collectively gone through there, and I think I've benefited from that. And it's funny, I feel like I've ended up doing a career that just really suits me and my temperament and whatever my skill set is, whatever it is. I find like a place that works for me. I was just so sport driven that all I wanted to do was be involved in sport.
Right.
Definitely wasn't good enough to play any sport professionally, but I wanted to work in sport in some capacity. A big part of me still does, and what's lovely about being in the position I am in my career, I do end up being invited to things like the Dunhill or JP's Pro-Am, or you know, and I am around like heroes of mine, and I've had the opportunity to meet heroes of mine in lots of sports that I loved growing up and still love. So that's a really cool like side, you know, for someone like me who's obsessed with sport. Like it's a very cool thing that this life as an actor has also given me through achievements or whatever that I've had. So I honestly, genuinely, I'm really happy at the moment.
That's great.
Just I'm sort of like, I'm much happier, despite how great home life is and how good my career's going. I am much happier if I'm playing good golf. You're only as happy as your last good golf shot.
Your last shot.
In a way.
Yeah.
And that can swing from day to day.
So it really does have a big impact.
I think about it all the time.
How aware is your wife of that? Like your mood is very dependent on your golf.
I try not to bring it home too much. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to be sort of sullen one day and her say, what's wrong? I was like, it's just awful off the tee today.
It's that 7 iron, it's the 14th.
Can't get that sort of, topped 7 iron off my mind. Hopefully I'm not doing that, but like she knows how much I care about the game and want to, she's super supportive about that. I don't have one of those eye-rolly, oh God, you're going to play golf. That's not what my relationship is with my wife and her relationship to golf. She knows that it makes me happy, and I think I said to you off camera, but like I don't play at the weekends. Like I'll go on 1 or 2 golf trips a year. 2, I do a father-son's one. I still go to now, even though my dad passed a few years ago, but we're still going to do this father-son's trip every year in Donegal, and then I get 1 golf chat trip. And that's it, and the rest of the time I would never play at the weekend when our kids are this young. I just wouldn't. So I only really play when I'm off work and the kids are at school.
So basically a few things to know about this course. There's a lot of sheep. Occasional tourist.
Sure.
So there are extra points. 5 extra points. Oh.
Really?
No, it's baby sheep.
Risky? Oh, thank God. Okay.
It's baby sheep.
Good.
So you get extra points if you hit tourist. You get no extra points if you hit sheep.
No, it's not.
We do not like to.
We don't want that.
But actually, the mama sheep have got such big coats that the ball just bounces off.
Oh, so you have hit them.
Well, this is from Finley. I've told you.
Okay.
Thankfully, I've not hit you one yet.
Okay.
Shot.
Wee bit leaky again.
Wee bit right and maybe a wee bit long, but I can't quite recall. Okay. It's going to be a chip though. You're going to be fine.
Okay. Lovely.
Coming back.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Well,
this is amazing.
Here's the green.
I think I might be a bit big.
Maybe a bit big.
Maybe. Right, it's a chipping contest. Get down. Whew. That was heavy. Sit.
What's the best part of your golf game, Jamie?
This is sort of socialising after. When I'm on my game, I hit it well off the tee. Yeah. With the driver. The worst part of my game is what you've just seen, chipping. And I'm a streaky putter. I always putt well in Portugal. Right. It's a very strange thing about the grass and the sun, whatever, the vibes. Look at that. Yeah, I'll give you that. That's probably gimme range, is it? Yeah, that's good. This is nothing but net. Oh, it's low. I'll give you that. What was it about acting? You know, you obviously were successful as a model, so for many they'd say, great, I've found one career I'm really good at and I've got success at, and that's hard to find. You found another one. I just didn't want to be one of those models, with the greatest respect, who's still doing it in their 40s. Right. And there was a few lads who I knew floating around when I was in my 20s doing it, and I just almost felt like I could taste their dissatisfaction. And I was like, I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be leaning up against walls, looking sad. So were you trained as an actor at that point? No, I wasn't. I'm still not. Isn't that amazing? I've learned, like most of my favourite actors in the world, never trained. Right. Look, you took a chance. I did a bit of youth theatre outside of school. I did theatre at school. Did Dram. It's not like I was like a model now. Hey, I'm going to try acting. I'd done it to various degrees. I did my first movie when I was 22, and with Sofia Coppola. It was like a big deal. So it's not like it had been, but I'd had an agent from then. So it's not like, but I didn't knuckle down and focus on it until my late 20s, because I was always, the modelling was doing very well. So I was always like, had that going, and I wasn't certain at that point that I wanted to be an actor. And then after the fall, I guess there was a certainty that was going to work out, or if I work hard at this, it will work out. And I'd done loads of classes in LA and stuff, and you know, so it's not like there isn't training at all. And there was a certain element of the Meisner technique, which is one of the famous 2 or 3 techniques of how to approach it, that seemed to suit the way that I wanted to approach it anyway, which is taking the focus from you onto the scene partner, putting all the emphasis on them, which suits me and the way my mind works. So that's been sort of helpful. And then you learn so much on the job, and so much from failures on the job and successes on the job, and different characters that I've been really lucky. I've got to play like loads of really different characters. So but there's other stuff. You know, now I'm producing more stuff now, and I've been writing, and my friend and I wrote a script that we last week just have secured director on, and
amazing. Congratulations.
That's thank you. It's been a real big moment, a long time coming. So and now we're producing. We've got loads of stuff on our slate to start producing. Some stuff we've written, some stuff other people have written, and that's a really exciting facet of the industry that I want to explore more. And if they can work coincide, and then maybe one day I won't feel like acting anymore, and I'll just do that. Maybe that's a believability, I think, in my mind. So we'll see where we get. I love how I'm holding this with my golf.
I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect.
It feels right. I've got a great grip on it. I'm not playing rugby anymore, obviously, and I'm not playing. Still play 5-a-side football on Tuesday nights, but you know, I wish I'd focus more on golf because it'd make my life easier now to be better at golf.
You might have met McIlroy a bit earlier on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, we're from the exact same town.
Of
Rory
course, yeah. All Royal Hollywood there.
Yeah.
It's done pretty well, that little town.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it's funny. I remember being time exact. Almost, we were born the same week, Rory and I, but I'm 7 years older. And I remember being about 16. And I was in Hollywood town centre, and there was all this stuff in all the shop windows, and the butchers and the bakers, and all this like, you know, under 10 world champion Rory McIlroy, and I was like, he's just some kid, like, you know, he's not going to make it as a golfer. He's 9 years old, and I remember like, who is this kid? We're all getting so excited about some kid, like he won't, you know, he'll fall out of love with the game as soon as he gets to like secondary school. Obviously, didn't work out that way.
All right, this cyclist is
coming right at us.
I'm going to start it on that cyclist.
Such a brave call. Beautiful. Jesus, that's beautiful.
Hang on.
Yep, that'll work. That'll work.
Yes.
That'll
got
play,
some
won't
power in it. Shot. That's going to be perfect.
About as good as I can hit it. Yep. God, it's beautiful though. Look at this. Love it. Where'd you go, Iona?
Just a wee bit short. Quite a stiff breeze, caught me out.
Yeah, that's a wish. Like, I hit that well, but I have to say, I just wish I could control ball flight better. What a shot.
Sit.
Sit.
I think it's going to come off that daisy, and then just...
It's like pinball.
It's going to veer towards that buttercup on the left.
Surely it goes right to left.
Yeah.
That little short daisy on the right looks good, doesn't it?
Yep.
There it is.
Oh.
Okay.
Never moved.
Good stuff.
Going back to your kind of beginning in life, how do you remember your childhood? Was it a happy childhood?
Yeah, it was. Like, it was idyllic in many respects. You know, I grew up. Belfast is a really. You know, I'm from Hollywood, County Down, only a few miles outside Belfast, and it is beautiful there, and it's a great way of life. And I've never shied away. I come from a very middle class background, and we weren't wanting for anything as kids, and you know, we went on great not lavish holidays. No one did back then, and you know, we didn't have the means to do that so much. I think like. We had a really nice house, and I now know how much stress years later that from Dad telling me how much stress that put in the house, living where we lived, and Dad would always want a nice car. So outside of that, it was, you know, we didn't go on lavish holidays. We always went, and I think that was really beneficial to us, like just going up to Donegal for a week, or maybe going camping in France and driving, getting the ferry over, and those sort of trips.
Yeah.
I have great memories of that. But you know, I lost my mum when I was 16, so that was a catastrophic event in my life that takes happiness away, obviously, in a monumental way. So it was happy, definitely, to a point until that happened, and then you know, I think I think of myself as a really resilient person and really capable of dealing with bad things. I'm super, like, if I get bad news, I'm instantly thinking about the resolve, or like the other side of it, rather than just wallowing in the pity of it. And I think a lot of that has come from losing my mum young and having to, like, sort of grow up a bit, maybe quicker than I was probably on a track to do. And it has weirdly ended up being a benefit in my life.
What did your mum teach you, do you think?
This is a really shameful thing to admit, but I don't remember that much about my mum in many ways. I was just turned 16 when she died, and I was a very young 16. Like, I would have been really immature 16.
Right.
I had to grow up pretty quick after that. But of course I have memories of her. Jeez, of course I do. But like you know, my dad was a more tactile. My mum was probably a little bit stricter with us.
Right.
And I think that's a benefit. I don't think both parents can be super easygoing. And I find myself now, Jesus, I hope I'm fun dad. I am. But we did ask our kids the other day, like, who's more strict, mum or dad, and they both said, all three of them said me.
You're more strict?
Yeah, which I just don't see myself as, and
right.
I'm not really, but to them I obviously am more than my wife. She's more lenient. And I think I get that from my mum, and I think that's a really positive thing to have, not be strict with them, but, like, you know, you want to have kids that are polite and respectful and kind and promote all of those aspects of life that we need to be good human beings. So I'm probably pretty good about trying to implement those onto the kids.
I think so much of what we learn from the people we speak to have achieved cool things in their life, you know, always different ways to define success, but inspiring people is there has been something in their life, there has been a moment where they've developed a whole new level of resilience and grittiness, and something's come out in that moment that's driven them on to achieve something far greater than they ever could. And I suppose in your position, I'm not a parent, I hope to one day be, but I'm not in that position. But I imagine it's quite tricky when you've had so much success, how you build that in your own kids, because you're in a position where you can give them everything and anything they want. Have you thought much about that, about how you parent for resilience?
I think it's a bit of a constant sort of battle, really. I've a fear generally about kids these days, about resilience, not just my kids, but this whole generation, of what lack of resilience they have, and how unworld ready they are, and how easily offended they are, and scared of things. You know, I do think I'm, again, lucky to be a generation that could deal with stuff and you know, be okay with hardship and someone saying something that maybe didn't make me feel great, you know. So I'm always conscious of that, and I think the biggest thing is being able to say no to the kids a lot, and because I think they are aware that they could kind of have a lot of stuff, and sometimes we've maybe been too good to them in terms of, like, letting them have stuff, and then we try to rein that in, and they don't like it because they've been offered it before. It's like, but last time we came here, we got this. Like, right, okay, well, you're not this time. Mummy and Daddy had a chat, and we think you're getting too much stuff, whatever, you know. But, like, we also, you know, I want to enjoy a good life for the kids, and they have we have a lovely life and lovely home, and we go on really nice holidays, and we do all that stuff. But I hope with the way they see both my wife and I interact with each other and with other people, and how we treat people, that they'll be good kids, and they'll you know, well, they're not even at that age yet where there's no pocket money involved, anything like that, but that'll be a whole thing of how we deal with that, and understanding the value of money and the importance of that, and that you do have to work for it, and you know, I certainly won't be just going, right, here you are, you're 18, here's bucket loads of cash. Does that mean I might, you know, help them out with their first cars? I'm sure, but I'm not certainly going to just buy the 3 of them houses and say, don't worry, you're grand, you don't need to work. No way. So we're not quite there yet with any of that, but that will creep up on us pretty quick.
Yeah.
Okay, just might close my eyes and just pray. Ah, gone. Get lucky off a rock. Oh.
Yes. Oh, it's back in.
It is back in.
It's back in. It's in the bunker, yeah.
I mean, there's many ways to play this hole. You're choking down on it. This is great.
Yeah, I'm going to choke down on this and try and just like hit a little high something.
That takes a proper player to do that.
Oh, I don't know. Watch me as I slice this into the Atlantic.
That is a thing of beauty. That's right at it. Get up. Oh.
It's on there.
I have to, like, that's absolutely class. No idea where I'm going.
Can you see the flag?
No.
I'll give you a line.
All right. Oh, I can see it there. Amazing. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, good shot.
Thanks. Quite an
Good
unfair
effort.
bounce.
Very good effort.
Felt like a very unfair bounce. Nice. What a touch. Oh, it's
Stop.
fantastic.
Oof.
Beautiful.
Thank you. She's got the 3. Feels like a good 3. You say you've recently come off social media and you know, making pieces like this, I love sharing with this audience, and the audience receive it so gratefully, and I truly think that these episodes have a big impact in people's lives. But this probably is for off the camera, but I hope, I know I will have made it and be successful in my life the day I can come off social media.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because it's such a tool, and it's such, if you're trying to build something or spread the word of something like, you know, like you're doing, and you've got, you know, a committed following, and then you do kind of need it. I just got to the point with it where I deleted it off my phone the week before Christmas. I thought, right, I was just mindless, you know, we all do that. Find yourself in 45 minutes it's gone, you're just looking at people clean barbecues and you're like, Jesus Christ, man. And then, so I just like, let's get it off the phone. It's still on my iPad, and I still contractually had to like post for people I'm associated with or whatever. So I was like, I'll keep it on. And I went to the Met Gala in New York a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. And the next morning, like we all do, I was by myself in a hotel, and I woke up and on my phone, and I was on my iPad because I wanted to see Instagram, whatever. And there was a picture of me on there, and like the first comments I saw were like, he looks really fat, he's aging badly, and why is he even there? And I went, you know what, what am I getting from this? Oh my God. And I would like, you know, we're banging about resilience and not caring about that sort of thing, but like, yeah. Also I'm a bit like, why am I putting myself in a position where I want to see that? And like, obviously there's lots of positive stuff too, whatever. Sometimes, yeah. But there's a narcissism in all of us that looks for it, right? Totally. And then we get crashed back down to earth by seeing, they were literally the first 3 things I saw. And I went, and I just, on that moment, well, I texted my reps and my publicists and said, sorry, am I allowed to leave? Yeah. And I said, yes. And I said, okay, fine. And I did, and I feel really good about it now. That's awesome. You probably replace it with some other thing that you shouldn't be doing instead. Yeah, like Candy Crush. Yeah, exactly. But for now, I did download some little golf game. Yeah, that's fine. I'm actually playing against random people in the world, and this cool. like flicky sort of golf game now, and that's taking up the time. But yeah, I think it is probably better for my head. Yeah. I think that in between, I worry about social media because it's all the in between moments. The other day I was leaving Sainsbury's in Chiswick, and I was going to my car. And I'll bore you the details, I'll save you the boring details, but I had this amazing interaction with this man who was this lovely old guy, and we had this really cool conversation, all because basically his shopping bag collapsed from beneath him, and
I was there and we were chatting away and we had all this in common, and it was just this wonderful moment in life. And if I had been on my phone and just mindlessly kind of all those in between moments where you go from one place to the next, like on the tube, or if you're in transit somewhere, people used to look up. And now people look down. Yeah. And I wonder about what impact of losing all those in-between moments have on us. Ooh. Hole number 4.
Those sheep a good line?
No.
It's right there?
Yeah, straight over the middle of this hill.
Okay.
And the green is over the hill and far away.
Okay.
Definitely with the driver, I reckon
feels like driver
you could get it pretty close.
Oh wow, okay,
I think.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, 3:53 down the breeze.
Okay, okay.
Show me the way. Go on.
Right, okay.
Between the sheep, over the hill. Oh yes, that is a thing of beauty. What a golf shot.
Oh, beautiful. Identical lines.
It's a wee bit left of yours. Just about, we're talking about, obviously being in the public eye, and you've been enormously in the public eye, and in probably quite an extreme way, just given the way that I guess people put you on the pedestal, particularly with the 50 Shades, I think. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that sort of catapulting into a different stratosphere.
Yep.
I wonder how your family have coped with that, and your wife. How does she cope with it?
Not watching the movies helps, I think, and it's sort of just immersing yourself too much in the sort of chaos of it, because it is chaos, it's noise. It's a big, uncontrollable energy and noise being involved in stuff like that in a franchise like that, and it seems like it's a thing that you can't have a huge amount of control over, so you try to control the things you can, which is like, maybe it's not helpful for my wife to watch 3 movies where I'm simulating sex with someone else.
Yeah, totally.
So you control that. I wasn't on social media at that time. I wasn't on it at all, and then joined during COVID because I was bored like the rest of us. So not being on social media around the whole time, I can control that. So I did that, which was good, helpful I'd say. Really helpful I'd say, if I consider like what was probably being said. It was kind of a mad, one of those experiences now where I think like, did that really happen? Like, was I that guy in the middle of all that? That like poor guy who was getting kicked about a bit. I felt like, because the movies weren't received well. Geez, they made a ton of money, but and I think that's been backlash sometimes when I say stuff like this by the fans. It's like, why has he always been down in the movie? I'm not been down in the movies. I'm not down in the movies, but everyone was. The fans weren't. The fans loved them, and that's great. But I'm being realistic about what the critical response to it was, and the general, energy that people bring to me when they talk about the movies. I get to see that every day. That's not me being down in the movies, or I don't regret the movies at all, but there was a lot of awful stuff said about the movies and about me, and so I'm more aware than anyone else could possibly be about it. So, it is just noise, and you've got to find a way of turning that noise down as much as you can to try to live a normal life. And I think I've come out the back of that experience having learnt a lot, and maybe knowing that I don't want to find myself in that position that often. There's a huge pressure that comes with those big sort of tentpole movies that I don't love. Not the pressure, I love pressure. I don't love the sort of particular type of scrutiny that comes with those sort of characters who are pre-beloved. So it's interesting. You learn a lot, and I had so many great experiences from it. And there's a world where you could lean into what the sort of attention that you get from it, but I, thank God, couldn't do that, and nor did I want to. But we started a family at the exact time. Wow. So our firstborn was born 3 days before we started shooting 50 Shades.
Oh my goodness.
So my life was changing in the most gargantuan way.
Yeah.
But not because of 50 Shades. And I just happened to have the baby on the Friday morning and started shooting on the Monday.
Wow.
So life was changing massively, but more because we were having a kid.
Yeah, that must have been hard. That must have been really hard.
But it was great to have that focus. It was really hard for all of us. But it was great then to just have, like, that was the focus of my life. And then that, of course, has been the focus of my life for the last 10 years. So this other massive thing was going on, 50 Shades and thing, and I was like, lads, I'm having kids here.
Yeah.
You know, we are in it
Yeah.
as a family and starting that family. So the best way, that was the greatest distraction and the greatest focus to have during all that circus.
Probably a grounding as well.
Massively.
Okay, little flick with the wedge.
That's nice.
Leave it alone, wind.
Sit now, sit.
Ooh.
Sit. Woohoo.
Back of the green.
Lovely shot.
Nice.
Get down. Ooh,
Oh, beautiful. Try and get this just in the hole.
No, that'd be a good idea, yeah.
Just going to
Put a lot
navigate
of
this.
Sort of sheep
Poo.
poo to get through.
Yeah, little practice swing through the poo. It's quite a fresh one.
It's fresh. Don't disturb it too much.
Okay. Right, let's see what I can do here. Oh,
That's very nice.
God.
Yeah, that's fine. Good shot.
I want another one.
I don't have that touch there. Okay, this is
Plastic.
it's definitely going to swing.
Back into the breeze as well.
Yeah, see, I can just never factor in like wind when I'm putting, really. But this is.
Go on. Oh, what a putt.
Okay,
Very good.
thanks. Like when people don't understand why you want to play golf, like
Yeah.
what other sport do you get this sort of environment? And I know that this isn't golf for everyone. They don't all get the. Well, anyone can come here.
Well,
I
look,
guess.
you know the
It's
beauty
free.
of this course is it's free.
Yeah,
Pay a pound if you want the scorecard.
Yeah.
But it's free and you can come out here, play as you wish. There's no one rushing you.
yeah,
This is the dream golf scenario.
incredible. It's relaxing, which
Yeah.
golf sometimes isn't. I've been so loyal to wooden tees
Yeah.
my whole life, and I'm just so sick of it now. Them breaking constantly,
Interesting.
and I've always had a real issue with these sort of tees. My
Wow.
mate Steve plays with them all the time.
Wow.
He used to do these with a yellow ball, which I'm sure is illegal in some countries, but I am now that guy, and it's actually the perfect height. Let's just go for it.
Really. I mean,
It's shameful.
Jamie Dornan, and you've like turned up today, you look great, you're so cool, and then you've pulled out the pink castle tee.
What are they called? Castle tees?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they had a name.
I understand, if you're breaking the wooden ones, I mean, listen, strong guys like you can hit down on the driver and get away with it. I hit like 4 degrees up on my
Yeah.
driver, so they rarely break.
Yeah, but I remember playing with Rory and saying like, what is the one thing you're thinking of off the tee? Because he's just so far past you every time.
Yeah.
He's just like, hitting up on it, and I can't alter my swing enough for that, and I have the same swing for my irons and my driver and just like hope for the best.
Yeah.
But I think I end up hitting it down on it quite a lot, and I've often quite low trajectory off the tee,
Yeah.
which works well in the summer, and it's not great if you have something to hit over often.
Shot. Safe. Very safe.
Yeah, I just didn't want to. I'll be gutted if I've lost this tee. Yeah, beautiful. Jeez, that's beautiful.
Go.
Have to say, but like, you know, the feeling there that we both got there of like striping a drive, it's incredible.
It's the
like
best.
It's hard. I don't know how you would ever begin to explain that feeling to people,
Yeah.
and you wish you could do that on every hole, but you obviously don't. But like, it is. There's something very satisfying about it.
Obviously, with your life, you know, living, I know you managed to maintain an element of privacy and huge respect for the way you do that, but you're in the public eye. What value does golf bring to your life?
Well, it's really good for like escapism. You know, when you're out in the golf course and nobody can get near you. Not like I'm not saying like I'm not Elvis. It's not like getting chased down the street all the time. But yeah, you can be out and about and be, I guess, have an awareness that people are whispering or saying or building up to ask for a selfie or asking for a selfie, whatever it is. And I'm pretty good about saying yes to all that unless I'm with my kids, and I have a rule of when I'm with my kids I don't do any of that, which I think is fair.
Yeah.
And but on the golf course there's none of that. And I just love that. I just love that feeling of just like you're out there for yourself and for the people you're playing with, and to have a good time and sort of forget about whatever stressful things are going on in your life. And sometimes you can't forget those, and you ultimately played rubbish that day because of that. But I love being given the opportunity to get away for a few hours and just try this maddening game.
Hey. Thank you very much.
Well done.
One putt, that feels very good.
There we go. Someone had to do that.
We were choosing putt.
It was definitely going to be you.
Something that we ask a lot of our guests, and I feel like it's a good question to ask because I want to know the answer, so selfish or not, but what impresses you about a person? You meet someone and you go, they really made an impression on me, and I'd like to see them again. What's that for you?
I think usually people who are at the very top of their game in any industry are really impressive people, and often very nice people. Someone said to me once that, like, in my industry, like, if you get to the top or you get get some notoriety, you just become an elevated version of who you were before. So if you were a bit of a prick at school and a bit of a prick at uni or a bit of a prick at drama school, wherever, you become like a gargantuan prick when success happens. And if you've always been a nice guy and treated people with respect and kindness, then that just becomes elevated.
Yeah.
So I believe that, and I think most people that you meet who are like right up there, who everyone, there's no one here, but who everyone knows their names, they tend to be really nice people.
Yeah.
And really accessible people and easy people. And maybe are they accessible and easy because you come from whatever position they're meeting you in is often some lofty circumstances, maybe. But I tend to have found over the last whatever years that most of those people are really nice, and it helps to be really nice and treat everyone in the crew, from whoever would be considered to be the bottom of the totem pole to the top, with the same respect. I'm not saying there's not versions that don't do that, and I've witnessed it, but very rarely do I witness that. So that's been cool. I've never had too many major issues with like sort of famous people that I've met. They've usually been pretty good to me.
Yeah, I guess that's great to hear because it dispels that myth of like the good ones don't.
Well, there's a
make
few
it.
in there ruining it clearly for everyone. And every job I do, you turn up and there's a whole actor on set. There's a whole and everyone starts behaving differently. I'm like, lads, what's this? Like, you don't, not for me. I don't want any of this.
Have you ever caught yourself starting to slip into that?
I hope not.
I saw you giving your bag earlier to Finley.
He was.
Oh, here goes. It's the movie star.
He was offering.
I'm only joking.
Back was 10 up a bit, No, Jesus, I hope not. No, I really hope not. It's just, truthfully, just not how I was brought up. My dad just had this saying, you treat the person who cleans the court the same way as you treat the judge. My dad was a very successful doctor and clinical director at the Royal Maternity for most of his career in Belfast, and I'd be walking around the wards with him and I'd see how he is to the janitor and see how he is to the other sort of consultants, and it was exactly the same, and that's what I learnt from, and I hope that I'm even a fraction of how my dad is like that. That's really important, I think, and I do think, again, there's exceptions to the rule, but yeah, usually there's a ruthlessness you need, I think, to get to the top, I think, and a determination and grit and all that sort of stuff, but also I do think it helps to be nice to people.
Yeah, I love that. I'm so glad you said that. Who would you like to play golf with that you've yet to play with?
I think if it was like a dream 4-ball situation, Lee Trevino, because I think he just seems like great crack. Yeah. And is a legend of the game.
Totally.
Freddie Couples, because I want to see that swing live.
Yeah.
And see just how silky it is.
Steal a bit of that rhythm.
Yeah. And probably Annika Sorenstam for just, I want to just talk to her about the sort of dominance that she had in the game and what that must have been like.
I love that, yeah.
She's just a bit of a rock star, isn't she?
She is a total legend. What she achieved, will it ever be achieved again? Probably not.
Well, Nellie's heading that way.
Nellie Corda. All right, up and down, what are you saying?
Yeah, as I stand here, I feel like I actually might want to putt this.
Okay.
You would never putt this, but you're good. Could be the greatest birdie ever. Get it there.
Go on. Perfect pace.
Good pace.
Got this for the win, shall we say? Let's just make up the rules.
Oh,
Get back.
Sit. Ooh.
Oh.
Well, I will give you that. So that's the half.
There's one question I just realised I forgot I really wanted to ask you, because I've heard you talk about it a couple of times and I just think it's so lovely, so I want to ask you it. But I heard that you knew you wanted to marry your wife, like from the moment you saw her.
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know what that is. I can't explain what that is.
Yeah.
But that is what happened to me. And my wife used to be an actress. Like before we met, she quit. She hated it, and she quit a couple of years even before we met in 2010. And I'd seen her once on an audition, so I knew who she was as an actor. And I'd seen her, and there's just something about her aura, I guess is the best way of saying it, that I was like, I just always felt that we'd have a connection if we met, and I basically fancied her. But then when we did meet in LA at a house party, I just did really know.
Yeah.
I don't know, love at first sight. I don't know. You have to work to find love, I think. But I had a very strong sense that I would spend my life with her when I met her. Yeah, it was a mad feeling. Right. I found a very comforting and satisfying feeling, I have to say. Because also it got off on a good start. It was good chat instantly, and I wouldn't be the most confident person talking to girls. And I've never initiated a conversation with a girl in my life. Certainly not one that I was pursuing in that kind of way. So for me, it was a comfort of like, oh thank God, I don't have to do this again.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That will surprise a lot of people.
No, I went to uni and we used to play this game called Shy Guy. And I only did a year of uni studying marketing. It was ridiculous really now when I think about it. And I was at Teesside University in Middlesbrough. And I used to play, I played a load of rugby. I was playing rugby. I played at uni, and there's a guy called David Brown, really cool guy, who used to play with a fro comb in his afro. It was
Love it.
So cool. Now and again he'd drop
cool.
it and we'd hand it back to him. And we used to play this game called Shy Guy, and Brownie would go up to girls and say, listen, this is how the game worked. Say, look, my friend really likes you, but he's very shy. And he was wondering if you'd be up for talking to him or whatever. And they'd sort of look over and I'd sort of go, hey. And one night, there were these two identical twins that went to Teesside Uni. Don't remember their names, really. But they were very identical looking. And I sort of fancied both of them, I guess. Didn't fancy one of them. And we were in some sort of awful nightclub in Middlesbrough. Brownie was like, should we play Shy Guy? And I said, yeah, sure. He goes, I know you're not going to talk to him. I said, yeah, no, that's the only way we can do it. Okay, let's play Shy Guy. And he said, who do you like? I said, I like the twins. And Brownie went up, and I haven't seen this guy since those days, by the way. I'd love, if you're watching this, Brownie, get in touch. He was a really good lad. And he went up to the first twin and said, oh, listen, my friend's a bit shy. He's sat over there. And she was like, who's this one? Would you be up for talking? And I just watched her look over and go, and I was like, Jesus, and he came over and said, no dice. So okay, fine. Is the other one here? And she said, yeah, she is. And she was over there. And she was wearing a green. I remember she was wearing like a bright green like vest, like a primary green vest. And her sister obviously said no, and he went up to her and said, look, my friend's quite shy. Wondering if you got him talking. And she went,
no!
It was just this double rejection I got on the same night. I don't think I've ever played Shy Guy again, and as a result, like, confidence shattered. So I was never good at it. So when I met my wife and someone sort of introduced me to her, so we were sort of forced into a conversation rather than me having to initiate. That worked well for me, and yeah, delighted I never have to do it again.
You found the girl of your dreams.
Yep.
And you've managed to hang on to her.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie, listen, we wish you all the best with what's to come in your
Thank
career.
you.
It's been so fun to spend time with you today.
Yeah,
it really
great.
has.
Love
Just great company. And you're just a normal guy. You're not this
I hope so.
superstar. You're just a cool, grounded guy. And here's to many more years of happy golf for you.
Cheers, thanks,
Cheers.
Iona, I appreciate
Thanks
it.
so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Sláinte. Just a dribble there really left for me.
Thanks for faking that drink. I appreciate it.